Hello, my people. What's up? It's your girl, Karaleise. How you guys doing? Today, we're going to talk about the difference between the business analyst and the project manager. So, we'll talk about that. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. So we're talking about the differences between the business analyst and the project manager. So a lot of you will work with project managers, and if you're a project manager, you'll work with business analyst, and the two roles kind of overlap, don't they? There's a lot of things in common that y'all are doing, and it might seem that you as a BA would think that the project manager might be, giving you some of their tasks, and the project manager is like, well, the BA should be doing this. So I just want to put it out there that there is a strong distinction between the BA role and the project manager role. So let's look at the differences together. So on the BA side, as a business analyst, your main deliverable is the requirements. So whether it's going to be done as a BRD or it's going to be done as a user story in an agile environment, it's still the requirements, and that is your main deliverable as a business analyst. So that's the thing that you have to make sure is on point, correct, has all the details, is in definition of ready, because that is the core of your job as a business analyst, right? The other thing that you're doing as a BA is you are analyzing and documenting a lot. So you're writing documentation, you're doing analysis to help the team to make sure they're thinking about it right, that you haven't missed anything. You're meeting with the team to discuss it before you go document it. So you're having these conversations. So you're the one facilitating these conversations to do the proper analysis and then be able to formulate some recommendations that you will then have the team discuss, and you'll pick the best option, right? That is the job of the business analyst. The business analyst is also helping with the process improvement. So there might be a process there's waste, it's not efficient, and the BA is the one looking at this process, coming up with the as-is state and conceptualizing the to-be state and working that process through to make sure it can be improved. There's also internal processes where maybe the way you work together as a team, there's some processes there that need to be fixed, the way you report on bugs, the way you hand over requirements, maybe the internal processes as well, the BA can look into and try to resolve and make suggestions as to how to make it better. So you're delivering requirements, you're doing the analysis and documentation, you are improving the processes, you're also coming up with reports. So you might need to be tracking some KPIs, some metrics or whatever. You'll be coming up with the reports. In some cases, as a BA, you're the one pulling the data, with the SQL queries and the different tools that you'll use to come up with the data, to make sure the data is massaged and answers the question, like knowing what question does this data answer, and being able to come up with those dashboards so that you can give another, maybe an executive or somebody else, to use that information to make business decisions. As a BA, you're also responsible for the stakeholder management. So this is one you'll do in collaboration with their project manager, but you need to be able to set the right expectations with your stakeholders. Talk to them, have a relationship with them, let them know what is expected, understand their needs. So you're managing the stakeholder as a business analyst. The other thing that you do as a business analyst is you are responsible for the UAT. You're not responsible for the other testing, because you have unit testing, regression testing, smoke testing, all of these different types of testing, which the quality assurance engineer is doing. But when it comes to the final product, when everything is done and unit tested and now you're about to release it to your user base, there needs to be a UAT testing. This is the final step to make sure that there is no business level bugs, there's no bugs at all actually, and that what you're releasing is high quality. So the business analyst is responsible for facilitating that testing effort, for gathering all the subject matter experts, for coming up with a test plan and the test cases and executing on it, and make sure that the bugs that are found are resolved, and communicating back to the team about that, right? So that they can take the relevant decisions. So that's what the BA is doing. That's the essence of your role. Now, let's look at what the project manager is doing. So the project manager, in the majority of their effort is being spent on planning the project. Planning it, making sure there is a clear direction, a start, an approach, a methodology. All of these things is involved in the planning of the project. That's what the project manager is mainly responsible for. They're also responsible for the team management. So making sure you have the right people and the right roles, and maybe they have to manage allocations and all these different things to do with the people, but they have to manage the people aspect, the team, to make sure we have the right people to execute on this project. The project manager is also handling the budgeting and the resource management. So a resource could be a person too, so it kind of goes back to the team management, but a resource could be the server racks or the computers or the building that you're going to be using for your project, whatever. So they're managing the resources that is required for the execution of this project. And they're also managing the budget. So how much does it cost? They're trying to keep the project within the budget that they've allocated for it, so it doesn't go completely over budget. So they're managing the costs of everything to try to keep it within the budgeted amount. They are also managing the risk. The project manager is ultimately responsible for the risk mitigation. So you as a BA, you may identify a risk and you say, well, this is a risk of the project because we don't have this requirement, we don't have this detail, blah, blah, blah. And you raise that with your project manager, but the project manager has to make sure that this is resolved. It could be that he needs a scrum master to work on solving it, or needs somebody else or whatever, but he's creating the mitigation strategy. In event that we don't get this, then this is our backup plan, right? So he has to have those things in place as a project manager. And you as a business analyst, you don't have to have those things in place. You can just be the one to highlight that this is a risk, but you don't have to really, unless it's very obvious and you can solve it within your requirements documentation. But it's something that requires them to do action and get approval and all that stuff. That would be the project manager working that to mitigate against that risk. The other thing that the project manager is doing, which the BA is also doing, so it's kind of an overlap, is the reporting. The project managers have to report. They have to report to their superiors, report to their executives. Where are we with the project? How much progress have we made? What's left to do? All this stuff. They have to constantly be reporting on the usage of the resources, the budget, the progress. They're constantly creating these dashboards and charts and graphs. Excel sheet upon Excel sheet upon Excel sheet. I've seen so many Excel sheets in my life. Oh my goodness. And the project managers are normally the ones creating these because they have to track. They have to keep up with everything. So there you have it. There you have the differences between the business analyst and the project manager. So now you have the information you need to be able to make a choice if you're deliberating between which career do I take. So you now know the differences in what you're responsible for as a business analyst and as a project manager. I hope you found this video useful. And if you did, please subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and follow me for my other videos. And I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.